In Malaysia, we can safely say that our market share is about 90%. Stream has actually achieved one of its highest ever replenishment. They managed to secure 130 million worth of jobs, which is more than 1 time their annual revenue cover.
2024 has been wow for Malaysian small cap index, hitting a 10-year high as we speak. It's one of the best performing markets in the region. I've wanted to dive deep into small cap stocks, but I didn't know where to start. Then I found RHB Small Cap Jewel 2024 edition, packed with all the insights I needed. Get your copy with the link in the description. After flipping through the ebook, I was hooked and I wanted more. So I'm interviewing the CEOs of these small cap companies. It's going to be a fun and engaging adventure as we uncover the stories behind these small cap gems. Let's see what treasures we can uncover together. On the 27th of August, I read this news. This company, the net profit managed to grow by 150%. So I reached out to the sponsor of this video, RHB Investment Bank, to try to get hold of this company. And today is just 29th of August, if you can see over here. So just 2 days later, they have agreed to come on the show. So that got me really excited. I thought the interview is going to be at their office, right? But they say, no, wait. Let's meet up at a different place. So today we are here at this place called Pertubuhan Architect Malaysia, PAM. So that got me curious, right? What is this thing all about? Because this is not a company, this is an association of architects. But nonetheless, we are here today. So let's go check it out, and hopefully our guest is inside there waiting for us. Hey,
hi.
Hisham. Hey,
how are you?
Good
Hisham,
to see
nice
you.
To
Good to see you.
you.
This is Hisham Nashmuddin. He is the Vice President of the CEO Office of AWC Berhad.
Welcome to our demo exhibition set for the Stream Environment System.
But so strange, we are not in your office, we are in PAM, right?
We've been waiting to get the slot to place our exhibition set. PAM is where all the important construction materials are actually showcased.
I'm excited to see what you want to show.
Sure.
Let's go.
This is our exhibition set.
Oh,
It's our crown jewel.
first glance, I thought you are a property developer.
We are working closely with property developers.
Okay, so what is this exactly?
Okay, this is essentially our demo set for the Stream system. It's an automated system to collect garbage. There are actually altogether 3 systems. Gravity vacuum system. It's usually rolled out at residential complexes. We also have a full vacuum system, which are applied to commercial complexes like airports, transport hubs, hospitals, etc. And we also have a shuttle system. The shuttle system is actually patented technology of Stream Group. Over here, it's more to a gravity vacuum system. And there's also a combination for landed residentials.
Okay, maybe you can show me how it works.
Sure. There are a few elements here. Firstly is the waste chutes. These waste chutes are actually positioned on every floor, and there is a volumetric hopper door on each floor where residents can actually open the door, put the garbage bag inside, and it will travel down via gravity. There's no vacuum here. The vacuum only starts to kick in at this level. That's where the garbage are temporarily stored. So before it gets transported to the central waste handling facility with pipelines underneath the ground.
Underneath the ground over here.
Yes, that's right. If you can see down here. So it goes to the central waste handling facility and stays here in a sealed container. So this sealed container, it's airtight and watertight. And the more important part is this is a waste compactor. So the capacity of holding garbage is increased because of the compactor technology.
So every time when garbage goes in, you will press it to become more compact.
More compact, that's right. Once it's full, the lorry will just come and lift it up and bring it to landfills or waste recovery centers. One thing I would like to highlight here is that if you have multiple towers and multiple developments, like example, there's a landed residential houses there if you see. There is an outdoor load station on the right hand side. So that's where your mates and people who are residing in the landed can actually come out and throw the garbage. If you see the miniature guy there. All of these are integrated. Depends on the development and the scope of work. It can be connected, and then only one point of collection.
So AWC Berhad stands for Automated Waste Collection Berhad, is it?
The history of AWC was that upon our listing in 2003, we amalgamated a few businesses inside. So it was Ambang Wira Corporation, our integrated facilities management. And so happened in 2004, we acquired Stream. The automated waste collection system is also stands for AWC. So it's like a marriage of two worlds that are blessed together.
Right. So in 2004, I still remember that you only acquired 51% of Stream. But today is different. You completed the whole acquisition exercise, you bought the whole
Yes,
company. So
yes.
today it's 100% wholly owned subsidiary.
That's right. Yeah.
So therefore, now whatever profit that's generated from Stream is double lah.
Double, that's right.
Double.
That's it. When we acquired them in 2004, they were doing 10 million revenue.
Okay.
Fast forward 20 years later, in 2024, when we completed the transaction, Stream is doing above 100 million. So that's 10 times
10
the
times.
size. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
fantastic. Hisham, just now
Hi.
when we were there at the model, you said that AWC acquired Stream 51% and all that. I understand that you also go into various businesses, which to me I felt a little bit confused because yes, Stream is bringing a lot of business to the group. So then why instead of focusing on one business that you're good at and then you also go into different things?
As I've shared earlier with you, AWC operated as an investment holding company. When we first got listed in 2003, our bread and butter business was the integrated facilities management that contributed more than 90% of our revenue. As we are an investment holding company, so we diversified our investments across different business, and the first one being acquisition of Stream in 2004. Thereafter, we acquired our plumbing rainwater harvesting division, and the latest inclusion being the rail division in 2018. So out of the 3 of the 4 business divisions are somewhat synergistically connected, that they operate in the property and building construction sectors.
When I look at your reports and whatnot, right, you divide them into, say, facilities, environment, rail, you know. But when you put these words in the AWC context, then I actually don't know what they all mean. Like, what does environment do? What
Okay.
does facilities do?
Okay. Let me share with you. As I've shared, our bread and butter is facilities management. Facilities management is essentially asset management of government buildings. That we started, we were the pioneers in 1998. We secured the federal government concession to maintain federal government buildings in the southern zone, plus Sarawak, that includes Negeri Sembilan, Malacca, Johor. From there on, we actually expanded to go into private sectors as well. And large part of the facilities management contracts in Malaysia basically relies one way or another with the government, because the government of Malaysia being the owners of the assets, the buildings, etc. And in 2013, we expanded into the hospital support services segment. So facilities management, in a nutshell, it's the cleaning of the building, the landscape, the mechanical and electrical work, making sure that the building fits for its purpose to be served for customers and clients.
Oh, so for example, if there's a bulb spoil already and if you manage this building, then you would be the one responsible to come and change.
Absolutely right,
change the
spot on,
bulb.
yes.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
And then environment?
Okay, our environment division that we acquired in 2004, they specialized in automated waste collection system. Their history was that they started as a central vacuum player. Thereafter, they ventured out into automated waste collection system. So automated waste collection system, as I've shared earlier, it's an automated way of managing and collecting garbage. So we acquired them in 2004, or 51% stake, and more recently we completed the other 49% stake from the founders. So currently we wholly own this subsidiary. So what they do is they design, they engineer, they install waste collection system at various projects, namely residential, commercial, like shopping malls, transport hubs, airports, hospitals, and a lot more other projects that we have done. And essentially this is our only business division that we are operating overseas. That means it has global presence.
Right.
Yep.
And one interesting point here I noticed is that even after the full acquisition of the remaining 49%, today you are still net cash. You have very deep pockets. That's what I'm trying to say. And after the completion of the acquisition, now you're able to consolidate the full potential of Stream. And like you mentioned today, it is a global company, right? In fact, I think it's safe to say that you are one of the top 2 companies that is involved in this business worldwide.
That's right. Our main competitor will be NVAC from Sweden. Thank you for pointing that we are still in a net cash position. It's because of our investment holding structure that we embedded from day one. Somehow or other, our businesses have been a cash cow. So they generate strong cash flows because we are service-oriented business. So we typically rely on low capex models. that we serve our consumers. So essentially, AWC as a group is an engineering solutions, one-stop solution center. So we do facilities, we do environmental engineering services. This is where we acquired our specialized plumbing and rainwater harvesting, plus our rail division in 2018.
Right.
So that is where we are in a very comfortable and envious position, despite incurring 110 million to acquire the 49%, we are still very much comfortable to grow our business further.
I would also like to explore your real business, but we will talk about that later. I want to come back to your stream business also. Just not through your explanation just now, right? I have this impression where this kind of automated waste collection system is very hard to do a retrofit. It's better to just do it right from the first time, right? As such, you need to look for areas where it is just starting to develop for this kind of products to make sense. If that is correct, then where are you now in the global scale to help you to grow this business?
You are not wrong at pointing out that most of our projects are greenfield based.
Yes.
So we start from scratch, we work closely with architects and consultants, even before certain projects come to the public knowledge. However, there are also brownfield opportunities. I give you an example in Singapore. It's been a law, a requirement by the government for HDB projects, which are their affordable housing under the Housing Development Board, to actually retrofit older HDB buildings that are 500 units and above to actually utilize an automated waste collection system.
Oh, but that's expensive, right?
Retrofitting costs more.
Yeah.
It's very subjective because it depends whether the existing building has the original chutes in place.
Which HDB have?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And certain flats in Penang, like in Taman Bukit Jambul, they actually utilize waste chutes that are actually manual. So if it's erected in the same position in the building, it's much easier to actually replace the pipes and put in a vacuum system to actually manage it.
Understand. I know that stream is actually quite big in Singapore, but I don't know how big is big. Maybe you can share with me. What is your position there?
In Malaysia, we can safely say that our market share is about 90%. It's very subjective in terms of the market size, but in Singapore, it's quite competitive because the utilization of automated waste collection system is widespread. It's a small island. Waste management can be a nightmare if it's not handled the proper way. Hence, the government of Singapore has actually took the initiative to actually have the system installed. Together with our main competitor, NVEC, we control about 40 to 45% of the market share in Singapore.
Oh, so you're the taiko in Singapore.
You can say that. So.
Right, but just going to Singapore today, I don't think that's enough to call yourself a global business, right? I'm sure you have more ambitious plan. I read from the news that you're actually going everywhere, but I want to hear it from yourself.
Sure.
So what is the big ambition that Stream currently has?
Starting off in 2008, we ventured into UAE, where our world's largest system is being installed at Al Raha Beach Development. It's in Abu Dhabi. So from there on, we managed to secure more projects from that part of the region. We've been trying to break Dubai for a very long time. I'm happy to share with you that recently this year, we secured our two maiden projects from Dubai. So we have actually broke the domination of our major competitor, NVEC, in Dubai. So hopefully we get more jobs there. And moving forward, we are actually targeting different parts of the region in Middle East, namely being Saudi, which there is a big project called NEOM. And from NEOM itself, there's the line, which is 170 kilometers. And also a number of other projects like having a winter ski resort called Trojena in the parts of NEOM as well, and a few other developments in there. And we are actually hoping our expansion in 2008 that we went into Middle East would actually help us to grow our business further. But not just this part of the world. We have completed jobs in Hong Kong, Taiwan, Australia, India, and China as well.
So that makes it a global company.
Yep.
Since you have so many jobs in Middle East and all that, right? What is the current order book of the company?
The current order book for AWC Group as a whole is at 700 million. 165 million of which is with Stream, and a large part of it is in Singapore and Middle East. Plus the remaining of it is in Malaysia.
But now it sounds very small, right? The way you put it, 700 over million order book,
yes,
and then only 100 over million from Stream.
That's right.
And then even that you need to split Singapore and Middle East.
That's right. Because we are a diversified outfit, so Our contracts are actually spread out across the 4 business divisions. As I shared, facilities, 300 over million, environment is 100 over million, and then we have engineering, 100 million, and railways make up the bulk of the remaining contracts.
Okay.
Yep.
My impression was that this number will be bigger. Maybe it's not order book. Maybe we should talk about the tender book instead.
That's right.
Right.
In terms of the group, it's at 1 billion.
Okay.
But with Stream, there's different business model that is actually more predominantly with the business itself, because apart from securing projects, we do O&M, operations and maintenance. So that's where those value will come after we complete the project. So you will not see this value in the current order book. It will be in the future order book when clients actually have us to maintain the systems as well.
Wow, fantastic business model.
Yep.
You go in high capex, after that you help them to maintain, you get recurring income.
That's right.
Let's talk about your real business. I understand water pumping, facilities management, waste collection and all that. Yes, it all gels very well. Now, suddenly we talk about rail.
Okay.
Why rail?
Basically, the diversification was seen as outside the expertise of AWC Group. But because our bread and butter was in integrated facilities management, where we maintain the buildings, we saw the opportunity that in the railway infrastructure in Malaysia, because there's been more than 100 billion worth of new projects, namely MRT1, MRT2, and the upcoming MRT3. You have LRT1, LRT2, and plus KTMB railway lines. There's been a dire need to actually maintain these assets. Otherwise, it will just be a white elephant. Right. So we took a leaf from our facilities management venture, where we are doing building maintenance. Not just the stations of these railway facilities. We saw the opportunity to maintain the permanent ways, the track and track related equipments relating to the railway lines.
Okay.
So rather than to reinvent the wheel, so we had a short list of potential experts in the industries, and the long short list was actually narrowed down to Track Work and Supply Sendian Berhad, because they've been in the business for 20 over years. They are former KTMB guys that actually sitting on senior management at KTMB, and they are more experts in permanent waste. When I say permanent waste, whatever you can see above ground, it's the ballast, it's the concrete sleepers. So pivoting to that is that we wanted to be in railway asset maintenance and management. From our facilities management, we wanted to go into this part because we saw big opportunities. Again, the word recurring income comes here.
Okay.
Because the Stream business model, there's also recurring income. Facilities management, it's OPEX driven, it's recurring income as well. And railway, we are hoping to actually position ourselves to be a part of the rail operators or other rail asset owners, a preferred partner in maintenance and of permanent waste and track and track related works.
Okay, so I think I start to understand the whole business model of AWC. It is an investment holding company. It started off with facilities management, and then it bought Stream so that it can grow its business. From there, you see a lot of synergies by including water pumping and stuff like that, inclusion. And then from there on, you are thinking, since I'm an investment holding company, I also should try to build a recurring income stream as much as I can. And because we are in facilities management and there's a demand in the rail facility side, so therefore that's where you go into.
That's right.
But then my question would be, would there be already existing rail management company in Malaysia today? And by you going in, what are your chances to be able to fight against this?
Very good question. Good question. In the past, it's always been maintained by the KTMBs and MRTs and Prasaranas because they are still the owners. Operator. So over the years, government post GE 14, government has broken the business model to Asset Co and OpCo. So Asset Co lies with Railway Asset Corporation, where they are the owners of the assets, right? The rolling stocks, the tracks, the railway, the buildings and whatnot, the real estate of things. And the OpCo is the KTMB, the Prasaranas and whatnot. So by breaking up these two models, so we are able to work with both parties in terms of servicing and maintaining them. But in terms of the question of competition, instead of going head on with our competitors, we complement them by participating together in work packages. So I would not call any of our competitors because we have done jobs for them in the past, and we are also currently bidding for jobs together with them for the likes of Penang LRT, MRT3 and whatnot. Yeah.
Okay. So what is the potential there?
Okay, the potential market size is huge. Like Penang LRT, I think you've seen in the news, it's 10 billion ringgit. So if you take the track parts, it's at least 10% from there. And MRT3 is going to be 20 to 30 billion. As per our initial business targets that I've shared with you, the railway infrastructure value in Malaysia is above 100 billion. So we take a very modest 2 to 3% amount that is required to maintain the assets in a year. So that's where you get 2 to 3 billion a year to maintain. And of course, we are not going to hit all the 2 to 3 billion. Even at 5% market share, you still get about 50 to 100 million recurring revenue every year. And that's big for AWC because our revenue earnings base, it's at 400 million and 20 million in terms of PAT, and revenue is at 400 million. Yeah.
Wow.
If we were to land any of this, it will be a game changer for the group as a whole.
Wow.
Yep.
So apart from a very strategic business decision, there's also a lot of very well thought of financial engineering in place.
That's right.
You go to a market that's big enough so that even if you win a small percentage, it's still a significant amount
That's right.
to the
That's
AWC group. There's one more business that is also totally off the radar one, which is your partnership together with the Chinese. You have MOU with two Chinese party, right?
Yes.
Maybe you can share with me what is the rationale behind?
It's actually with the Beijing and Zhejiang automotive company. Essentially, our rail division is also our transport division. And we saw the opportunity to actually go into a new energy segment, basically driven not by the passenger transportation part of the EVs that we have already seen in the market, because we saw the opportunity to actually move to higher parts, because currently the trucks and machineries in Malaysia are of Euro 2 standards. So Euro 2 standards, just to share with you, it's not the most feasible, or rather it doesn't help in terms of reducing carbon emissions.
You're talking about those Caterpillar trucks and
yes, the heavy machinery, the trucks, the vehicles and whatnot. The MOU that we have recently signed is to explore the collaboration to actually bring Euro 5 standard trucks from China. As you know, China is very big with EV, right? Not just passenger side, it's also the trucks are actually electrified. But
EV trucks?
Yes. So because it's part of the transportation segment of AWC Group, so we are looking to enhance our offerings to actually bring to the market, improve our offering in terms of the construction sector, to supply the trucks, and also to help the nation to reduce carbon emission and in line with the government of Malaysia's aspirations to be net zero by 2050 and also to reduce CO2 intensity against the GDP by 45% by the year 2030. So all this will help basically the nation and also for us to actually move up the value chain.
Yeah. But having said that, the interest on EV has been deteriorating. We even have a Tesla graveyard somewhere in the world, right?
That's right.
So if people are moving away from that, or rather I should say that people are trying to look for alternative new energy because they feel that battery is not the most sustainable way. If the construction sector starts to adopt that kind of new trucks that you're going to bring in, how do you think you're going to sustain this business? That's one. And number two, to begin with, how do you even motivate your customers to change their fleet from diesel to new energy?
Okay, firstly, I will address the first part. It is not immediate that we will go into electric trucks, because that's where we are targeting Euro 5 to increase the standards from Euro 2 to Euro 5, because there's ample opportunity from China to be able to supply to the construction industry in Malaysia. We will only transition to electric trucks when we actually address the challenges of the industry, which is mainly charging infrastructure. Because as you know, why we put it that the EVs, Tesla graveyard, and it's not being able to fulfill its prophecy or whatever you want to put it. It's that because of the charging infrastructure and the challenges lies with the batteries itself. So currently there's a task force to discuss this matter in terms of charging heavy duty machinery, equipments and trucks. Of course, trucks, there's also a lot of layovers when the drivers take their break during work cycles. So you can actually charge your truck when the driver is resting, but it will still require a lot of high-tech charging support and infrastructure. That's the whole reason why we are not diving in directly into supplying EVs, because we do not want to jump in a hype and then then withdrawing ourselves in the future. We are targeting actually the first Euro 5 standards because we already have a Euro 5 fuels in Malaysia where it's blended with biodiesel and it's clean energy because the particles per million it's even more lesser than your RON 95 for petrol. So it's less than 500 ppm. So that is where I think we can actually help the government to actually achieve its aspirations, and it will reduce the carbon emissions by far.
Euro 5 has been there for a while already.
Yes,
right?
yes.
If all these developer, construction players and whatnot, if they want to change, they would have changed already.
Yep.
And then suddenly today you say that you want them to change.
Yep.
If they want to change, they would have changed. So, yeah.
I'll put it to you this way. Most of the organizations somehow or other will have to be complying to their sustainability standards, part of their ESG, be it public listed or privately held companies. Maybe privately held companies, their motivation might be different. But in terms of sustainability reporting and contributing part of the environment and the aspirations to net zero carbon emissions by a certain period where most of the companies have actually provided their direction. So this would actually help them achieve that. And the motivation maybe initially might not be there because that it's much easier to rely on the what I call it dirty diesel. Euro 2 is actually dirty diesel. So with the drive in ESG and sustainability, we believe that there is a big catchment market because from China itself, they are transitioning to EVs. And this set of trucks are able to come to Malaysia, and of course China is actually left-hand drive. We will have to retrofit the trucks if it's an existing truck to a right-hand drive, and we will be able, again you take the financial engineering part of things, we are not going to target 100% of the market. So even 1 to 5% market share is big enough for us, and we have some numbers which we are not able to share currently because we are in an MOU stage before we actually move to the binding agreement stage that you'll be able to see more details from this venture.
So AWC share price, I think it has done very well in 2024. I think almost double already, if I'm not wrong. 2 days ago, you all released your quarterly results, 150% growth. I think it's fantastic, right? Going forward, I think your financial engineering makes sense. Everything just need to follow according to plan. I think you should be able to do it at a certain percentage of probability. And on the stream business side, just now you mentioned 700 over million order book, and then you have 1 billion of tender book. I don't think that has already taken into account all the big ambitions that you plan to do in the Middle East, because there's this thing called the dream of the desert or something like that, right? So those are mega projects that I don't think is being captured right now. So I guess only time will tell whether you are able to get a job and all that, right?
Whatever that I've shared with you and whatever that's in public knowledge, public domain is business as usual. Order book size 700 million, as you said, stream 165 million. Maybe that doesn't excite you, but an important part for me to actually share with you, based on our recent financial, stream has actually achieved one of its highest ever replenishment in the year under review. They managed to secure 130 million worth of jobs, which is more than one time their annual revenue cover. So that is a starting point. And the bigger business that we are targeting, I can share with you, closer to home is actually Nusantara in Indonesia.
Yes, I missed that point.
Yes.
Yeah, because Indonesia is shifting their whole entire capital.
Entire HQ from Jakarta to Nusantara. And there's been progress in terms of the development. In terms of the size of entire Nusantara is 2,650 square kilometers. I'll show to you why I'm sharing this information. Like for the entire NEOM is 26,000 square kilometers. And what we did in Al Raha, one of the world's largest automated waste collection system, back then in 2008, it was only 5.58 square kilometers. As I've said, Nusantara is 2,650, NEOM is 26,000. It's the same analogy of, you're not going to hit the entire market. In fact, we wouldn't want to be the only player to actually be in these markets. It's because it's too big that they will require multiple players, and that's where it will position Stream strongly. Not just the world's largest system. We just recently completed the world's tallest AWCS at Merdeka 118 KL.
Very, very exciting story for AWC Berhad, but I suppose I want to end this conversation today by asking you a personal question. So you have been in the company for a while now, but before this you were in Khazanah, you were in Shell. So how did those experiences help you in this business, which is ultimately an investment holding company. So I suppose in terms of the emotion side of things, you are not too emotionally attached to all these businesses, but rather the numbers make sense or not, right?
Yep.
So how did you use those experience in your job here?
I chose the investments line due to my keen interest with the markets. So qualifying as a chartered accountant helped me to build a solid foundation that I actually could embark on investments related roles. So starting off at Khazanah actually gave me a very wide and generic view of investments. Thereafter, the venture into Shell itself provided me with the nitty-gritty of managing retail downstream assets. It presented itself with a real-life business experience, because from Khazanah transitioning to Shell, and then I spent quite a considerable amount of time in equity markets that cemented my market knowledge. There's a saying, you are the sum of who you surround yourself with. So my past experiences helped shape me to my current role at AWC, where strategic decision makings and pivots within the line of the business, basically it's of paramount importance.
So do you plan to use that knowledge to continue to look for such opportunities like you did with the rail business and the truck business and whatnot?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And if you can give us a little glimpse of what are you looking at in the future?
I would say the most influential, or rather instrumental decision, was to acquire the remaining 49% in Stream, which was a consensus decision by the entire group, which had unlocked value in AWC. Moving forward, I think I'll be working more closely with the business units to actually enhance the value in each of these business pillars that we have, the 4 business pillars, that would actually help AWC to move up to quantum leap, which I'd say it's not impossible, because we have just recently consolidated partially owned subsidiaries in Trackworks and also in Stream. You have seen the results, it's shown itself, and we believe that the best is yet to come for AWC Group.
Okay, and I hope the best for you, Hisham. Nice speaking with you today.
Thank you very much.
All the
Thank
best.
you for having me. Frankie, before I leave, I have something for you.
Oh, come. What is it?
So this is actually AWC's diary. And the significance between these 2 diaries and the paperback that is going to come with it is that I just want to share this. Small diary was where we were at probably if you had met me 6 months ago. That's where our market cap was.
Right.
And today we are actually the big diary. So you can see the difference.
Wow.
Because from 150 million, we are above 300 million now. And hopefully in the future, when you meet the next person, so when you put these 2 diaries, and the market cap of AWC will grow together with it.
That's a very good analogy.
Yep.
How long do you think you can use to achieve this?
We hope within 3 years.
Within 3 years?
Yes.
Okay, I look forward to that.
Yep.
Hopefully 3 years later we can come again and then we have another session to talk about it.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Thanks.